The flash of light was so bright, Drew and Rudolph covered their eyes, but as soon as it happened, it was over, both blinking through the afterglow to see what happened to Nathan and the berry bush. Nathan was gone, but the bush remained. Worse still, several bushes around it had joined in its strange dance. Drew turned and ran, dropping his basket and screaming as he disappeared among the trees, leaving Rudolph alone, frozen by fear and desperate to spot any sign of where Nathan may have gone. Even running, it took Drew nearly half an hour to clear the forest, and another 10 minutes before he reached his home. His mother was outside, scrubbing clothes in a barrel of soapy water. Drew ran straight into her arms, tears streaming down his face and a look of terror in his eyes. Through his sobbing, he told her that Nathan had attacked a strange bush and vanished in a flash of light. After making him some tea and sitting him down, she went to the mayor, who also ran the tavern in town, and explained what her son had relayed. After ringing the warning bell, the mayor gathered up a dozen men armed with burning torches and axes, then headed for the forest, a reluctant Drew as their guide. It took almost 2 hours to find the clearing again. The moment it came into sight, Drew retreated once more, though only to the back of the group. The scene had changed somewhat. The entire clearing was twitching and lurching, as were several trees in close proximity to it. Not only was there no sign of Nathan, but Rudolph was missing as well. Setting light to the trees around the clearing, except those that joined the dance, the men worked quickly, careful not to touch anything that moved in such a manner. The mayor called out warnings and scanning the trees for sign of spread. Soon the workmen were retreating from the growing flames, standing silently around Drew as they watched it burn for a while. But soon enough the mayor had orders once more, calling men to cut down trees further from the flames. The workmen jumped to action, leaving the mayor and Drew to watch. For another hour the men worked on cutting down trees, but in that time the twitching had spread further. Burning trees and bushes twitched and writhed under the flames, occasionally launching cindering sticks and leaves in all directions, the burning plants growing ever more distorted. Drew clung close to the mayor, hoping that Rudolph was safe and this would all be over soon. Eventually the chopping was done and some 20 trees felled, protecting the rest of the forest from the flames. But they still burned bright. The men, now tired, gathered together and watched. It was several hours of burning, the afternoon turning to evening before the flames began to die down. As the sun began to set, the clearing underwent a dramatic change. The landscape falling away, flames burned in mid-air with no source. The ground had become a twisted mess of unmoving reflections. The workmen, Drew, and the mayor backed away as the landscape kept falling into the mirrored void, revealing ever more disturbing reflections of the world. Isolated pockets of fire began to vanish one by one until the scene was bathed in darkness. The hole in the world was silent and still, but its reflections still showed a day sky, despite the dark. As Drew and the workmen looked on, the whole began to be covered in fallen leaves, bushes and trees, all standing where they once did, but they hung over the void with no ground. Then the grass came, covering the void almost entirely. Then soil appeared below it. The clearing looked exactly as it did when Drew first arrived, save the absence of the strange bush, though Rudolph and Nathan were nowhere to be seen.